Hey, welcome back to the Corbellic Studios. Today we're going to be doing an awesome painting. It's going to be one of my favorite themes. One of my favorite countries is in Italia. It's going to be the Roman Colosseum. No, let me let me stop playing around. I don't want to make fun of any of my Italians who watch this channel. I love your country. I love the food. Italian was always my favorite food. Italy was my favorite country. I always said if I could be born again, then it would be Italian. I used to always daydream and think about the Roman Renaissance, the rebirth. I took Italian when I was in middle school, and it was just something I always think about. So if I retire one day, that would be a dream just for me to have some type of villa there, something beautiful. But along that, we're going to do the Roman Colosseum, and we're going to make it abstraction. We're going to make it vintage. We're going to make it beautiful. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we do know it's going to turn out to be beautiful because they all turn out beautiful. And that's why I do this, so I can show you as well that whatever you're going to do is going to turn out beautiful. Trust the process. We're just going to get through it. Let's see what pops out. All right. Let's work together. Let's see what pops out. Let's have some fun. Hey, let's have some fun. No, all right, let me stop. All right. So this is our painting right here that we're going to be working off of with the projector. And let's let's see what we got. Actually, this was one of my older paintings that I did of the Roman Colosseum. And really what I did, I just took a painting or a picture from the actual Roman Colosseum. So that's why at times people say, hey, what references are you using? You could use whatever reference you want. You could use real life references. You could have a picture of your daughter, of your wife, and you could do whatever you want. Just make it abstractions, different colors, and you had the proportions and the shadows already there from the projector of your daughter, of your wife, but you could just make it in your funky kind of colors that you want, any kind of expression that comes out of you, and see where the happy mistakes comes out. Only the universe is going to bring out whatever is already here, as Michelangelo said when he did created David. I don't know. Let's just see what pops out. Let's see what the universe gives us on this painting. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a background color of blue, right? That's our sky. And I'm going to make the blue a little bit darker at the top, just a little bit. And then a little bit of purple. Okay. And then blend it in. Blend it in. I think I need to pour in some white. I'm running low on white. Let me grab it from here. I'll do it. I'll do it right now while I'm on the camera with you. That's fine. Look, I run through so much white that I have to get the half gallon from Blick's art store. I run through so much of it, but I run through so much of it because I go through a lot of white, but I also mix it with some of the other colors, so that way I can have a light brown or a tan or even a baby blue. That way I don't have to always go out and buy those colors directly from the art store. The paint companies, they love amateurs or people who don't paint that often because they think that you need to go out and buy these exotic colors or these light colors when you could just mix it yourself. As long as you have white and the primary colors, then you're good. All right, that's good. If you're new to this painting experience, then I'll tell you, I like to put paint on my canvases. I use acrylic. I like to do it first most of the time because it is like a gesso for me. Not only is it a gesso, but it also takes away the intimidation of having a blank canvas stare at me. So that way, if I fill in the colors, it's not like, oh, I got to fill in some of the white areas. There's white areas underneath of it. And that's the beauty about working with a projector. When you work with a projector, as long as you have a background color and it's somewhat light and you can see what the image is, you don't have to worry about oh, I gotta fill in some of the white areas so that it's not without color. And then you're gonna be worried and you gotta fill in a whole canvas of color. It's just a mess, you know? So this way it's perfect. So now I'm gonna take out the heat gun. Our lovely, lovely Wagner heat gun saves us so much time to dry off the acrylic, which doesn't take long at all. And then we're gonna go into it. All right, let's do it. All right, and that's that. I can't even lie to you. This whole time in my head right now, like I just want to talk with an Italian accent. So cool. I just want to say buongiorno, mozzarella, pizzeria. All right, let's just go straight into it. There's no rules. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe this is wrong. Maybe I should have gone more darker on the lines. You know what? Let's do that. Let's take our black and like the arches, right? I'm just going to do the arches and maybe like some of the outskirts. There's no wrong or right way how to start these off. As long as you're just starting, just do it. Stop procrastinating, put the actions in. It's not up to me and it's not up to you to what's going to be beautiful. It's up to you, universe. It's already there. They just want to see if you're going to show up. Are you worthy for the universe to give you something beautiful? If you are, then you have to show up. If not, they're not going to give you anything beautiful because they know you can't. You could cheat yourself, you could lie to yourself, you could lie to other people, but you can't lie to the universe. They know that you're just lying or you're just BSing yourself. Look at this. Why give this person such good art? Why have anything come out of it? They're just procrastinating. They're just being lazy. We're not gonna give them any of the happy mistakes. When Bob Ross used to talk about the happy mistakes, that's what it always meant to me, is that what the universe gives you. Those are the happy mistakes, what's already there, but it's up to you to pull it out. Are you worthy enough for it, for the happy mistakes? Or are you lazy and you're a procrastinator and you want to make excuses and your ego gets in the way of you wanting to create? If that's you, I can't judge you. I've been there before. We're human. I know what it's like. But you just have to exercise your mind and you have to exercise yourself to get out of it. And the way you exercise it is to show up with action. The actions doesn't have to be correct. It's just that you're making a choice. Remember I was telling you how I've had 79 temp jobs in my life or 79 corporate jobs in my life, right? Well, also, I'm a jack of all trades. I used to be an actor as well. That's what brought me out to California 20 years ago in my early 20s. And the reason I'm saying that is one of the things that they taught in acting is that it doesn't matter what decision that you make, as long as you make one. The best actors, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know if the choice is good or if it's bad. They just made a choice. But the worst actors, they cared so much about their ego and looking dumb that they didn't even make a choice. They didn't make a bold choice. So they would always say, you know, at least make a choice. So anytime you see some of the people who you think are like really great thespians or actors, and you see them make a choice of what they're doing in their acting, it's not that they really planned it out or they're that great. What makes them great is that they made a choice anyways, and they showed up to just do it. They don't know what it was, and they just pulled up to make a choice. You know, you ever see an actor all of a sudden he just starts screaming on camera or something like that? He didn't know he was going to do that most of the times, and he made a choice. Now, when the movie's done, if the movie's successful or it's not, or maybe that the acting, they're going to say it wasn't that great or whatever, but it doesn't matter because you can't control that. What they can control is that they made a choice. So that's the same thing with you, is that are you going to show up to work to just make a choice? When you're doing paintings like this, it's not about being correct. It's about, did you at least show up to make a choice? What choices did you make? Or were you lazy because your ego's in the way and you want to be perfect and you want to have all your lines look pretty and you want to, if you do that, guess what? The universe is not going to reward you, because you could lie to me and you could lie to everybody else that you're an artist and you're doing this and you're doing that, or you're thinking about what they taught you in art school, or but the universe knows that really you're being a coward. You're being a chicken, because you're not making a choice. You can lie to everybody else. You could tell your husband or your wife that I'm working really hard, I'm trying to figure this out, but deep down inside you know that the problem that's not working is because you're not making a bold choice of just showing up and doing the work. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments below. That's how I'm able to create work, and that's how I'm able to have pieces that work or they don't work. But the universe is going to reward me either way, because the universe knows that I'm showing up and I'm making a choice. I can't cheat that. And we all have it inside of us. That's why it says that we were made in the image of the Creator, because we're all creators ourselves. See, when you come to this, when you come to the Corbellic studio, you're not just getting art lessons and business lessons about how to utilize eBay. You're going to get some life lessons. You're going to get some psychological and philosophical stuff going on here, baby. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see what we got. I don't know. I don't know. But at least we're making a choice. I don't know. All right. All right, now this was our 1-inch brush. Let's take out our 1/2 inch, so that way we could be a little bit more refined in our details of where we want some of the other areas at. That's the cool part about working with the projector, is that you don't have to marry the lines and go. Like, when I see other artists, they're working without a projector, they have to marry and go. They have to do inside the lines and stuff, because there's no projector to tell them what they're going to be working with. So like here, for example, I could just do this whole thing. I could have colored this whole thing white if I wanted to, because we still have the projector that's going to show us where the dark areas is at afterwards, where we can line things up at. But you're cheating. Stop showing them. I had somebody write that in one of the comments. I didn't reply to them, but they were like, "You're cheating." Don't show them that way. How can you cheat in art? That's hilarious. Who are you, the art police? Art police are hilarious. Well, I guess it's time to call the judge on me. Take me to court. Tell the judge I'm using a projector. And that I should have been alone in a dark room for 16 hours painting one painting, doing one drawing. That's the only way. Then what would they think about the artist who had the duct tape banana or anything else? You're cheating. I guess I shouldn't tell that person about Leonardo da Vinci using the obscure. Don't research that. Or Vermeer using the mirror method. I think one of these videos, maybe tomorrow if I have time, I'm going to do a video showing how the masters all use projectors. But back then it wasn't projectors because they didn't have electricity, but they all used mirrors. They used mirrors to come up with their paintings. The earlier artists, they were like magicians. What's magicians' favorite tool? Or one of their favorite tools is their secrets. And the reason that they have secrecy in what they do is because if you found out how they do their magic of their trade, it's not going to look as cool and mysterious because now you understand the process. When rumor has it, when Houdini passed away, he had a feeling of feeling like a fraud because he knew everybody else looked at him like he was doing something very majestic, but really he was just really a good salesman of selling the trick, but also how to do the illusion of the trick when really it was just certain tools of the trade that he was doing. And he didn't tell anybody, of course, because you have to die with that secret. And a lot of the great artists, they did the same thing where they would die not telling how they came up with their great pieces of art. And me, I'm like that magician that shows you behind the curtains. How you can also have great art without, I could never do that. Guess what? Neither could they. I love this part of the art because really I'm just freestyling now. I don't even need to really depend on the projector. I'm just freestyling. And I'm doing what I want. I think we're almost done. Let's do. All right. Something like this. And doesn't have to be too pretty. Let's dry this off just a little bit. when it dries, it gets hard, and you don't have to spray a finish on it. I started using these 4 years ago, and it's been the best thing. So I'm a mixed media artist with acrylics. I just don't mess with the I don't mess with the oil paint, but I do mess with like oil pastel. Pastel's different. And let's see here. Let's throw in some blue. I love this. You see how we're doing these abstract expressionisms? Now, people who love Italy, they're going to love this because they could tell it's the Colosseum. But it's your version of it where it's abstract. It's coming from you. So this is the proportions from the projector, but the abstraction in you putting a message up here, or Rome, or it's like a vacation piece or a destination piece. This is coming from you of how it looks, what colors you use. There was no science behind this. There was no art school. We were talking the whole time when doing this, and my mind was somewhere else. That's it. I'm going to put my signature on this, and I'm happy with the results. Boom. And this one right here, this is a larger one. This is a 16 by 20, but look at that. We did this together. Huh? Buongiorno, pizzeria. Isn't that? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. So that's our Roman Colosseum. We did it together, just something fun. And yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. That way people are going to be coming to your party every single night, which is the auctions. And if you want to learn how to do that, how to get it set up so you can start making some money next week, click the link below so you could join the free eBay art community. And I'm going to check you out on the next video.